This tutorial is to demonstrate the Passe powder by Vintage Chic Farm. These are available in 4 ounce and 2 ounce jars. Each jar will do quite a bit. They go a long way. Also on this, what you will need is a jar of clear wax and a brush for your Passe powder. We recommend the small wax brush. That works about the best. Your first step is going to be to take your clear wax, take a lint-free cloth, an old t-shirt works the best, and you're going to start by doing one side at a time. You don't want to do all sides at once. You want to do one side at a time to keep your wax wet as you're doing it. So what you're going to do is you're going to get an ample amount of wax on your cloth, and you're going to just start rubbing it into your piece. This is a chest we picked up and are redoing. We painted this in vintage white, and we're going to be doing the Passe powder over it. So you're just going to take your wax and you're going to rub it in. Rub it in good to all your details and your crevices. And you're going to do a little bit of each side as you go. You don't want your wax to dry on you. You want your wax to be wet when you apply the powder. So we're going to do this top portion first. Okay, now that we have that on, we're going to take our Passe powder, take our brush, and we're going to dab just a little bit in the jar just to get just a little bit on the end, and we're going to slowly swipe it on our piece, just like so. And you're going to want to get it in your crevices and your details real good. This is what's going to pop when we go to buff off the powder. And see, your wax is still wet, so this sticks fairly good to it. Okay, now that we have that on, we're going to set aside our powder. I'm going to take our clear wax again, and we're going to continue on with our piece. Just going to go down to this bottom edge here. Take your powder and apply it again to each section, just waxed. Now you can put this on heavier for a more darker look. When you go buff it, it'll take more to buff off and it'll leave a darker effect. We're kind of going for a light effect on this. It's good to use this, have a drop cloth down or outside, as the powder does tend to go wild. Take more of our clear wax here. I'm just going to kind of, by now we've gotten some powder into the clear wax, but this is just what we're using this for, so it's best to keep this up and away as you're doing the powder if you're planning on using it for a top coat finish as well. You just rub it in. Okay. Now that we have our powder done, it's best to wait 10 minutes until you start rebuffing your powder off. The top part here, I'd say it's been about 8 minutes, but we're going to go ahead and start to buff it off. You're just going to take your clear wax with another clean lint-free cloth, and you're going to start buffing out the powder, and it'll start bringing your white through. And you want to be switching your sides on your cloth as you're going. It will take a few cloths to do a piece. And you want to just buff it out. The more wax you use, the lighter you can get, the darker it'll be. You just kind of want to rub it in until you get a somewhat uniform finish. Now your details is where it's really going to show up. Like around here, our applique piece on here. Another clean cloth here. After you got a somewhat uniform finish on as you're doing each section, it's good to take another dry cloth with no wax and just kind of buff the rest of the wet wax out of it, and that'll give it a more blending, uniform finish. Okay, now we have finished our Passe powder. We've moved our piece outside. We recommend to permanently seal it to use a can of polyurethane aerosol. It's about the easiest stuff to use. You can get it in the Varathane or the Minwax. The Varathane is a little bit cheaper. We're going to be using a semi-gloss finish on this piece. It comes in a satin finish, which works well too if you don't want that much of a gloss to it. So all you're going to do is you can shake your can up. And you're just going to keep a wet edge as you're going over it. You just want to keep that wet edge. And you want to do this throughout your whole piece. And you just don't want to put it on too heavy or it will start to run. And you just keep doing that, and then 2 coats is about the best to do on this. Just follow the manufacturer directions on the back of the can and it'll let you know what to do. And we appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and we hope you have a good day. Thank you.